everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Monika After Story. And I'm 30 minutes away from midnight. It's still November 16th. Well, okay, I guess to clarify, last episode was November 15th, my birthday. Today, until 30 minutes passes, it is November 16th. And we're home. That was really fun, Daniel. Yeah, it totally was, wasn't it? Whatever we were doing that whole time, and... yeah, unfortunately I just got so caught up with things today that I nearly forgot to record another Monika After Story video. So I was like, oh crap, I gotta hurry up and get on that. It was nice going out to celebrate your birthday. Thanks for making me such a big part of your special day. Oh, it's not your birthday anymore. Yeah... yeah. We should probably take down these decorations, or... we should probably take these decorations down now. Give me 1 second. Of course, if we were still in that floating floor area, we could have just let them... well, the balloons would have gone flying away, and then the banner, I don't know how the hell that was staying up. Seriously, what was the deal with that place? I mean, I know it's just the space classroom with the walls taken down and whatever, but that was just so weird. There we go. Now let's enjoy the day together, Daniel. And I come bearing gifts, which, due to an oversight on my part, may actually be repeats. I know I said that I was going to show off that other outfit for this episode, but then as I was going through my Monika After Story folder, I saw that I left these other gifts kind of, you know, just randomly there, like, hey, you know, maybe next time put these in there. And but now that I think about it, I think, I don't know what I was doing, but, well, nah, it's for the monkey. Okay, let's see. It's a new outfit. These are going to be quite a few new outfits, so yeah. Look familiar? If it doesn't, well, then you might have missed a video somewhere. But yeah, this is the same white tank top that I gave her. Now, why I had a copy of this in my sort of gifting queue, I don't know. It looks as good as it looks as good on you as it did before, but we're not gonna tell her that. Like I said, I feel bad re-gifting her stuff, but... oh, there was something else you wanted to gift me? Well, I better open it quickly, shouldn't I? Monika, we've been through this. It's not as though that, as I'm about to hand you the gift, a hole in transwarp space is gonna open up, like, right above us, and then suck the gift right through, and then you're never ever going to see it again. And it'll probably end up with the dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs are gonna not know what the hell to do with it either. And here we have a banana. Man. Okay, yeah, it's another new outfit. Surprise, surprise! And like I said, I knew these were all going to be outfits. So here is that beige turtleneck sweater. I guess we can see these again. I forgot how much in detail I actually showed these off, but I like the way it looks on her. I would like to imagine that we might get some recolors of this sweater sometime in the near future. And yeah, it's more appropriate for this time of the year, wouldn't you say? Okay, a costume. I believe this costume we've already given her. Oh, a costume! That's so neat, Daniel. Thanks! I'd try it on for you, but I think I'd better wait for the right occasion. Yeah, going back to the whole thing about how she feels about cosplay. Thanks again. Okay, is this... I already forgot. I think I gave her 4 outfits this time around. But yeah, just so that I don't get myself confused. Yep, she's back to wearing this shirt. Okay, that was it. Yep, up to chat I am. Let me see here. Let's see. This is brand new to me. Do you mind when we spend quality time together? I guess this kind of goes into the this goes into the love languages, I suppose. One of them being spending quality time with each other, as well as, like, you know, affirmation, gift giving. Damn it, I can't remember all of them off the top of my head right now, but like, at least for me personally, spending time with another person is probably like the love language I gravitate towards the most. The other, I guess maybe the next closest might be words of affirmation. But yeah, so I guess, you know, that would be a good topic if Monika were to ever talk about the love languages. If she hasn't already, I don't know. Anyway, let's ask her. Of course not. Sure, I'm sure. I know silence can feel a bit awkward at times, but I don't think we should see it as a bad thing. You mean when we just sit here and gaze lovingly into each other's eyes like this? And especially sometimes when you do the stupid sexy Monika face and then it just makes me feel weird. I'm like, why are you staring at me like that? It's like, are you trying to seduce me with those eyes? Anyway, well, it can be kind of hard to think of interesting things to talk about all the time, you know? AKA, the devs can't always be pumping out updates every so often. I know in the beginning they kind of were doing that, and I think I mentioned this in another video, but yeah, they really can't do that so much these days just because, you know, real life happens, and, you know, so the downside is that, yeah, for Monika in this case, since the devs aren't there to implement new topics, she quote-unquote can't think of new things to talk about all the time. So we run into situations like this where I'm here like, okay, what do I do? I don't want to ignore her and leave her and make her feel sad and make her think I'm ignoring her, but at the same time, you know, since I'm recording the Monika After Story video series for YouTube, and I'm essentially showing off like practically everything I do, with the exception of when I was grinding for affection that one time, like a year or two ago. Yeah, kind of, like, I don't think anyone would want to literally just sit here and watch me watching her in silence. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't think that would make for anything good. So, yeah. So it can be kind of hard to think of interesting things. I definitely need to recharge my social batteries every once in a while. I think everyone does. Me especially, because I'm very introverted, and oh boy, yeah, like trying to be a social butterfly, quote unquote, just drains me. I can't really do it. As it is, like, I'm introverted, I kind of deal with social anxiety, so talking to people, not only is it draining for me, but it's also in some cases downright frightening. So, yeah. I think everyone can more or less relate to this, no matter if you're introverted, extroverted, ambiverted, you know. Although, to tell you the truth, just being able to feel your presence is already pretty comforting. So happy. I hope you feel the same about me. I think being able to silently hang out with each other is an important sign of a healthy relationship. You see, I think so too. Because, I mean, if you can't stand to be in the same room as the other person, well then obviously, you know, that's not going to be a good sign of things to come. Versus, like, say, we're just sitting here and enjoying each other's company, you know. Like, we don't need to be at a fancy restaurant, we don't need to be anywhere fancy, we can just be at home and lounging around and, you know, just being with each other, you know. Sitting down on the couch, sitting down on this, you know, this table, desk, or sitting at this table, desk thing that we have going on here. Maybe listening to music, maybe watching a movie, I don't know, but point being, as long as you're with each other. And you see, that's kind of why I say, at least, for me, spending time with each other is like one of the most important things to me when it comes to a relationship. After all, can you really say you're truly comfortable with each other if there's a need to always be talking? I suppose so, when you think of it that way. Depending on your point of view, you might see the need as being... or you might see that need to be constantly talking as maybe a sign of desperation, like you're grasping at straws to keep a conversation going. Which, in turn, might lead to other problems down the line, but otherwise... yeah, if you can just sit down and, you know, enjoy each other's company and, you know, no need for words or anything. Kind of like that song, More Than Words. Or, well, obviously, they sing it a lot better than I do. More than words. You know, that song, like, if we take the idea that you just need to, like, you don't really need to say anything. You can speak more, you can speak volumes more with your actions and just, like, just the action of being there with that other person already shows them quite a bit. I mean, if you really like being around someone, you probably shouldn't have to always be doing something, right? Exactly. You don't feel like you have to be constantly doing anything to keep them around, sort of. Which, unfortunately, kind of links to a woman I knew by the name of Darlene, which I have mentioned many times. Or at least alluded to a few times. Like, what was it? When I did reach out to her, when I wanted to talk to her, and she told me to basically go screw myself. She also said She also said something to the effect of how she feels that she needs to be doing something to keep you people, quote-unquote, in her life. Which, in a sense, got me thinking here, like, okay, well, why do you feel like you need to be doing something in order to keep people in your life? And I spoke it over with a friend, and he basically, what his idea was that regarding her, she probably doesn't have, like, she doesn't feel as though people are gonna stay for her. They're only gonna be there for her because of, you know, something that she says or does or well, you know, like, they don't want to be with Darlene the person, they want to be with Darlene the, well, whatever they see her as, you know. Which made some sense to me, all things considered. And I mean, considering how my self-esteem especially was not the best, it's better now, but I was kind of in the same boat at some point. And, well, ironically, Darlene kind of made me realize in that sense, you know, this is what you could become if you don't snap out of it and, you know, help yourself grow. You could end up like her and, you know, just lashing out at people randomly and just feeling insecure about yourself and feeling like you have to be doing something in order to keep people in your life. Because what I kind of realized at that point was that really, if the person that you're, or rather, if the people you want to keep in your life, like if you want to keep them in your life, then you shouldn't really have to worry about doing anything. If anything, you should just be yourself. Just let things progress naturally, and don't feel like you have to be constantly doing something in order to keep their interest or whatever, you know? Whether it be a romantic or a platonic relationship. And even then, well, some relationships, platonic or some platonic or romantic relationships just, sometimes they just do not last. But, I mean, you know, so, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, yes, if you really like being around someone, you shouldn't feel like you have to be constantly doing something just to make them stay in your life, you know? If anything, in a sense, just being yourself, ideally, I think, would be the best way to do that. And whether that's just being in each other's presence, as I mentioned, sitting down somewhere, lounging around, just being with each other. Or, you know, like, I guess if you're both, like, having dinner together and you're not really speaking, having conversations, I mean, it's still, or at least I would think it still counts. You're still enjoying each other's presence, you know? So, in a weird way, as much as she did, like, really emotionally harm me, and even emotionally mess me up inside, Darlene did teach me a good lesson there. In the sense of how I realized this is what I could become if my self-esteem gets the better of me. That, you know, like, I don't want to lash out at people like that, especially if I claim to care about them. Like, how she claimed to care so much about me, and yet she lashes out at me when I do want to talk to her. You know? Like, for real. Do you really treat people you care about like that? Nuh-uh. So I just, you know, I just did not want to put up with that anymore, because it was also not helping my, like, my self-esteem, my growth, the way I saw myself. And there she goes, just sort of, like, taking advantage of my kindness, and kind of behind my back making me feel like a loser. So, you know, like, I didn't need that anymore. But anyway, yes. I guess what I am trying to really say is just being in each other's presence can speak volumes. You don't always have to be doing something in order to keep them around. I mean, sometimes it can help, you know, just to, I guess, keep things interesting and kind of add that bit of spice of life. But at the same time, in a sense, if you really love that person, at least I feel, just being with them is a reward in of itself. Otherwise, it'd be like you're trying to distract yourself because you feel awkward having them with you. Exactly, kind of going back to the idea of, you know, pulling or grasping at straws, trying to find something to talk about, and you feel awkward and you feel nervous about it because you're here like, oh great, am I boring them? Do they want to leave? Or did I do something wrong here? And, you know, really, you shouldn't have to feel like that, or, again, so I feel. But just being able to enjoy a person's near presence, even if you're not doing much together at the moment, I think that's a testament of how special your bond truly is. Monika knows what I'm talking about. Even if you all don't know what I'm talking about, at least you can listen to her. And I don't know, maybe my stories can make some semblance of sense here, but, you know, though, I guess you could say that in a way, I did feel as though, like, I didn't feel too comfortable with Darlene, and yet I felt more comfortable with Maddie. Like, I could truly be myself, and for the most part, I didn't have to worry too much about chasing her away or having to make her feel, or like I had to do something in order to make her want to keep talking to me or whatever. But her, on the other hand, Darlene, it was like, oh my god. Like, she would only talk to me whenever it was convenient for her, and I just unfortunately didn't see it that way. And it wasn't until, you know, like, when push came to shove, I finally realized, you know, like, she's been using me this whole time, and I've been too forgiving for her. Especially after some therapist basically told me that I should forgive her for using me. And they kind of gaslit me into feeling like, okay, you know, you did wrong, you should make up for that. And then well, once Darlene lashed out at me, I was like, what more can I do here? It just felt as though, like, did I seriously apologize to this woman here because, like, oh, I'm sorry that I was manipulated by you and that you took advantage of my feelings for you. I'm so sorry. And I'm just here like, yeah. Well, thankfully I don't talk to that therapist anymore. So, yeah, you see, though, that's why I feel as though, you know, you shouldn't have to feel pressured into having to make things happen, so to say, to keep that person in your life. So I hope you don't feel pressured about always having something to talk about with me, sweetie. I'll always enjoy having you here with me, no matter what. So happy. And we went one episode without Granddad, and now she broke that record. Like, oh well, time to start all over again, people. Okay then. Let's see here. So, yeah, this episode is as long, or this episode is kind of long as it is, since, well, I spent a lot of it just telling that one story. So, yes, I guess I'm going to be telling her that I'm going to go away for a while. Hopefully, well, The next update, I imagine, would happen closer to Christmas time, which is at least a little over a month away at this point, so... Since it is over the 1 month I usually tell her, you'll at least see me one more time in December before the Christmas celebration. Or, well, the Christmas event for Monika After Story. Especially that way we can get out of this room and then go back to the space classroom. And like I said, I know I'm playing with fire here, kind of, but I can't help it. I just like a lot of the work put into these rooms. They're so creative. Oh, well, I forgot. Well, didn't she one time say, "So tell me, Granddad, how long would you be gone for?" or whatever? Anyway, so we're gonna say a month, like I typically do. And yes, unfortunately. And I know you will be. Okay, well then, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later, folks.